You're such an asshole.
AssholeConsulting.com. We have a request that's going to require Team Cappy to come in and help out because he asked me a question. I said, well, I don't have expertise in this field. He's asking me about Dallas, Texas. And I'm going to contact my buddy Silvio Canto and see if he doesn't have a recommendation. But he's saying, hey, I'm in this shithole leftist town over in Maryland. I want to move to Dallas, Texas, but I don't know where to go. Cappy, you know everything there is to know about the United States, so tell me about Dallas. Well, it's like, well, I've driven across the United States many times, and I have been in Dallas, I have spent some time, but I have not lived there, and I don't know enough about Dallas to say, okay, go here, don't go there. The only thing I really know is the town of Denton, which has everything I personally like. It's got nice running paths, it's got a ton of sushi restaurants, it's got a Potbellies, it's got a Chipotle, it's got cigar lounges. So I like Denton, but that's not Dallas proper. And anyway, so let me go ahead and read through this. And if you guys could comment below, those of you Texans, those of you Dallasites, Dallasicians, Dallas people who live in Dallas, I appreciate it if you make some commentary. But last time I went through Dallas was like 3 a.m. I worked out on the east side of Dallas on my way out to Shreveport, Louisiana. I was driving that RV, and then I was in the town of Forney. And I left my good coffee mug there. Damn it. I was like, I had a good Vegas coffee. I just bought it in Vegas, too, to keep me awake. And then I left it in the Anytime Fitness out in Forney. I was like, shit. So if you guys are over there, hey, that's my coffee mug. So, all right. Dearest Cappy the asshole. That's me. I am a podcast listener and YouTube subscriber who can't stand living in this high-tax penal colony any longer. The people are awful, the women are worse, and even though there are already way too many foreigners, Montgomery County and Howard County have just doubled down on their commitment to being sanctuary counties. This is happening even in light of the recent rape of a girl at Rockville High School by 2 illegal alien teens who don't even speak English. Well, that's good. It's okay when it happens, not to the little girl, but if the parents voted Democrat, which they probably did, statistically speaking, well, that's diversity, and diversity is more important than your daughter. That's the news story that the MSM swept under the rug in order to spare the filthy illegal aliens' feelings. Also, that genius liberal socialite plan to gentrify the southeast D.C. has pushed a lot of the ghetto trash up to my county, so the area where I am will just continue to go to shit. Someone is always in my way here. I can't tell you the last time I haven't waited in line for something or been able to take a highway on-off ramp at a speed of my choice. Speaking of roads, I have no idea what we get in return for. See, this is what I don't get. Everyone's like, dude, you gotta come out to DC. So guys, like, fuck you. If I'm gonna suffer that traffic, I'm going to like a really cool town that's got class, like Chicago. I'll even go to New York. Shit, I'll suffer San Diego traffic because at least it's night there. But DC, go fuck yourselves. There's nothing, it's almost like it is the Beltway, New York kind of, well, we're Washington, D.C. We're too busy sucking our own dicks to look too far to the west. I don't know why. You're not making a selling point as to I drove kind of through D.C. one time on my motorcycle, and there's no way, just no fucking way you could get me to go there. No fucking way. With the high salaries this area provides, combined with the population density far too high for my liking, I have no idea why the tax rate needs to be what it is. Because you have welfare and leftists. Did you not see Washington, D.C. votes lefter than California? You have leftist socialist parasites. It's not leftists. You just have parasites. That's what. And someone's got to pay for it, and that's why you pay high taxes. It's not complicated economics. It's not my opinion either. I originally moved here because of the constant supply of IT jobs, and it turned out to be good for my skill development along the way. While it was fun watching my salary steadily increase, I've realized it's unacceptable to make a six-figure salary and have my quality of life be so below average. I've been here for 15 years. I'd rather be a bukkake recipient than it makes 20 years. Ideally, I'll be out of here within a year. I was looking at quality of life ratings recently and saw the income to real estate price ratio is number 1 in Dallas. Go Texas. Obviously, I'm not asking you whether or not I should move from Maryland to Dallas because that much is obvious. I'd like to lean on your contacts, your personal experience to know which area a newcomer should move to. I know about Plano, but it seems to be convenient to jobs in Dallas, whereas Arlington and Grand Prairie are right between Dallas and Fort Worth. Even with this advice, I plan to make a recon mission, definitely, to the area to finalize things before I move. I like to narrow down that recon area before I go. Okay, here's what I would do just knowing about Dallas. It's just the logic, I know. Dallas and Houston, I have San Antonio not as much, but definitely Dallas. These are spread out towns. I'm more used to upper Midwest towns, Chicago, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, Kansas City, St. Louis, and there's a standard kind of, I wouldn't say unit of measurement, but there's a standard. You're driving through farm country, then you start seeing little suburbanite developments where all the poor white people who can't afford gentrified city prices move way the fuck out because that's where prices are cheap enough. So you get these cookie cutter type of, they're not big homes, but they're like, family homes. They're very boring. But it's still interspersed with farmland. Then you start getting closer to see. Then you see the hoity-toity suburbs. You start to see some office buildings. This would be like Bloomington in the Twin Cities, Burnsville in the Twin Cities, or if you're more familiar with Chicago, not Hoffman Estates. What's the one where you got Coke or Pepsi's headquarters? And Motorola. It's one of the main interstates. Is it Arlington Heights? At Arlington Heights, it's one more out than Arlington Heights. But then you get closer, and all of a sudden, all right, now you start to see the established suburbs. And then you go through what is now quickly becoming the burned-out core, where all the liberals and leftists have expanded outside of the major cities. Just the donut hole's getting bigger, and so that, in Chicago, that probably would be, not necessarily Arlington Heights, but you're inside that loop now. And by that time, you should be able to see the downtown area. And then you get to downtown. Dallas, it's ranches instead of farms. And then you start getting to the developments. And you think, downtown is 30 minutes away, 25 minutes away. Oh, fuck no. You're an hour and a half away. And it is fucking miles. Fucking miles. Lots of them until you get to see downtown Dallas or downtown Houston. And so that's the thing about Dallas and Houston and Fort Worth and I presume most Texas towns. It is sprawled far out. And so Plano, if I recall, let's just double check. I think Plano is still like 45 minutes away from downtown Dallas. Plano, Texas. To Dallas, Texas. How long is that? Okay, so it's only 30 minutes. Because it kind of looks like that second tier ring. The town I like, Denton. Let's see how far that's even further out. Yeah, that's like an hour. And Denton's kind of like that, your quote, suburbs, and even Gainesville. You could just take a look at a map. Anyway, the larger point is, I would let your office, like if you have to work at the office, presuming you do, if you have to work at an office, that is what I would determine to where you want to live after that. All right? Because you may say, I really like Denton. Cappy like Denton. I like Plano. Or somebody's up in McKinney. I'm just looking at the map now. Oh, look, Rockwall happens to be on a lake. Maybe that's got some nice neighborhoods. Well, sure, but all of a sudden you're working in Arlington, your commute's going to fuck up your life. And you think, traffic is not as bad as Maryland, but driving that many miles and down. So I would find out where you get your job first, and then set up most of the 20-mile radius around it. And the good thing about Dallas is it's not like East Coast towns. I mean, there are bad parts of Dallas, but they spread out. They're harder working people. They're better people. There's less parasites. And certainly there are bad parts of Dallas, but you're not going to run into Baltimore, where the whole fucking town might as well be nuked. I mean, it's not going to be Detroit, where buildings are collapsing upon itself. So you should be able to find within 15 to 20 minutes a decent neighborhood that you like, especially if you're just moving out there and you don't know. I mean, yeah, you may like it. You probably are going to like it more than Maryland, but you don't know if you want to settle there, so you shouldn't be buying a house either. I mean, you just get a month-to-month lease. You're not committed, you're not planting down any roots, and then you'll probably learn you will learn over time, 5-6 months go by, you'll start to figure out, I really like this area, I don't like that area, My employer's moving and we're getting out of Dallas, so this was pointless anyway. So I would take a much more methodical, scientific, step-by-step approach. But yeah, find out where you're working and then kind of do your reconnaissance there. That being said, man, I really did like Denton. And I know it's like this. I know everyone in Dallas is probably, oh, Denton, that's just this cookie cutter. Yeah, but it had like all my favorite food. Cigar line. Oh, it had salsa club, salsa dancing. Like within a mile radius. Not 2 miles, a mile radius. Everything was fucking there. I was like, holy shit. I was like walking and drinking and dancing and eating and sushi and Chipotle and Potbellies and oh, it was, and there's jazz clubs too. It's just that, just check that town out. I hope that's Denton. Yeah, it is. Or did I drive up? Was that another town I was in? I'm pretty sure it was Denton. I was thinking Dalton. Hang on, let me take a look. Let me just make sure I think I taught in Denton. Let me do Dalton. It's Dalton. Nope, it's definitely not Dalton. I think it's Denton. So yeah, I would do your reconnaissance like you're doing, base where you're going to live and where you're going to hang out near where your office is, because you don't want to be commuting. Ideally, you could walk to work because it's warm enough. You could do that in Dallas, and then save your driving and your mileage on your car. For going around and partying and having, because Dallas has got a lot of fun shit to do. It's got a lot of stuff to do out there, and it's you think it's just open wide prairie, and it is, but they got streams, rivers, and it's more green and lush than you might think. So, anyway, for those of you who are in Dallas, can make a recommendation like, oh hell no, don't go here, or hell yes, try here, or here's where it's up and coming, and here's where they're pushing diversity initiatives, and here's where property taxes are high, here where property taxes are low. Comment section down below. Help out our Maryland friend. Get the fuck out of the East Coast leftist shithole. And if you guys got questions, go to assholeconsulting.com, where and if I can't answer it, my legion, my multi-thousand person army of agents in the field will give you their expertise and opinion in the comment section below. We'll see you guys later.